Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker today. Next up, we have JUWEL RANA, and he's the head of analytics at Varner Groupen. And his talk today is entitled Developing High-Impact AI Strategy Fashion for Fashion Retail. Please give a warm welcome to our virtual stage. Hi, JUWEL. All righty. Hi. Whenever you're ready, I will turn off my video and you can share your slides and take it away.
Thank you very much. So what a time. We all kind of getting new normal, right? This conference supposed to be happening in Las Vegas, and actually I was thinking that I will attend in September, and of course we'll have a face-to-face network with many of you. But things changed quite heavily, right? So what we're going to do, of course, we have a lot of alternatives that we all sorted out, and here we have the opportunity to connect with all of you digitally and share all those interesting insights and working going forwards with analytics and advanced AI together with this industrial community. So as Morgan says, I'm JUWEL, head of analytics at Varner. Those of you, I guess most of the audience is very North American based. So maybe it's hard to know a bit about Varner. So it's one of the Nordic focused fashion retail. It's pretty big in Nordic countries such as Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and we have a couple of concepts, 7, 8, I guess, and then more than 1,400 store. Heavily presented both in physical as well as digital. But before COVID, our attention on digital was that big, but now we all see that, okay, fine, how important digital has become, especially for the retail industry. So what I'm going to talk today is about some sort of AI strategy or some sort of the architectural building blocks that we are building so far within Varner. And as well as I would love to know many of your insight, how you guys are doing within the area. So in general, if you see retail industry, when it comes to their digital journey, it's most of the cases we see that, okay, fine, they have a website, there maybe some sort of e-com settings is there, and then of course a lot of app-based based functioning, and those app-based functioning is mostly product catalog with pricing, and some cases sharing of coupon. So that's more or less like the digital focus was before. And then rest of the all energy is actually on the physical touch points, stores. When it comes to digital, for example, for Amazon, so how they aim that, they call it like a journey-driven retail, where they try to digitize each and every touch point where they can actually get feedback from the customer. So it's like a completely different way of thinking, right? That how you want to make a retail that is fully digital, fully automated, as well as serve your customer in the way they want. From product forecasting, from promotion generation, from incentives and sales, everything. So that's kind of inspiration, right? From Amazon, most of the retail get a lot of inspiration, but at the same time, they get scared that the market they get in, other retailer might feel like, oh, lots of challenges to run their day-to-day businesses. However, we see that Amazon's business model is not actually kind of challenge for rest of the retailers, right? Because they are bringing the innovations. And if we is actually trying to be part of it, learn from them, then it could be really, really, really different. So challenge then might be opportunity. So here is like their latest opening of the grocery. So manless, you go grab and product and go away. So it was just before that, it was only few, I guess, shops in Bay Area where you can buy only some stationary stuff, but now they are experimenting with fully functioning supermarkets. Wow, isn't it? So what's the technology behind it? If you see, they use computer vision, they use sensor fusion, cloud computing infrastructure, deep learning algorithm. So all complex, big, big functioning areas. But is it scare us, or should it scare to all other retailers? In my point, no. Because from an infrastructure point of view, if you think cloud is actually offering all sort of services or platform that you want to build in actually a couple of minutes. And you don't have to worry about scale at all. So what big enterprises, big companies have is actually no more advantage for them. It's actually almost accessible for anyone. And that's how a startup grows, right? Then where the challenge? Why is not happening for rest of the other ones, those who want to have something? So my findings, something like that, they don't see the data in that way, like how Amazon, Google, Facebook, all are seeing it. Don't understand full potential of AI. Like, you need to understand the potential before you can actually operationalize as well as create value from it. Then whole organizations, not only tech or not only IT, need to embrace it, right? Whole organization need to embrace it. And fail fast, try a lot of experimentation. We always hear about it. Yeah, this talk, that talk, this talk, that talk gives us this type of information. But we really need to do that. And try to be top on AI innovation curve, which is not easy for sure, but everyone need to try. And then the situations, then the things will be more stabilized. So when it comes to retail or fashion retail, how we are shaping analytics, how we are developing AI. So for us, it's actually 4 major competence area. So understand the customer. So we do a lot of customer analytics, then the market analytics, what the trend, how we understand what kind of product is going to be trendy, what is happening. So all those interesting questions, right? Store profiling. One of the latest McKinsey report shows that in Denmark, adapting AI, a company can uplift, like it's a physical retail, almost 10% of their revenue. And that is actually net level, because they calculated OPEX, CAPEX, and then they come up with these numbers. So we don't have to believe these numbers, but you need to understand the vibe that that what is bringing. It's optimizing the processes. It's take away a lot of cost from man-month point of view. It's helping a lot to reordering the product, resorting the product, as well as helping to taking away redundant one. Then another area is actually product, how you can predict the success of a product, how you can understand which product you want to actually produce, how much, so that you don't have to deal with heavy discounting when you're failing to get rid of from your stocks. So that's business is like a competence area, because here you see that every of this area you will create a lot of or generate a lot of data from different business functions. And then if we start collecting this data, processing this data, and making meaning out of it, then it will actually help you to understand this whole paradigm. And then capability area, we call it capability area, because that's what you want. You want to build a tech product that's powered by analytics and AI. You want to put AI functions in your whole value chain, like AWS or Amazon is doing. You want corporate insight, so that any big decisions your company or organizations doesn't miss out to be known about it, as well as to take some sort of right decisions around it. And then all the talk about fail fast and all those kind of buzzwords that you need to do a lot of pilots. You need to understand what kind of mechanism, what kind of architecture works and what doesn't work. Not last but not least, think about a lot of KPIs. Here is some sort of high-level KPIs that when you want to build an analytics team or AI team, you need to figuring out how many AI functionalities your team is actually going to deliver, how you want to make sure that those functionalities is actually creating value for your organizations, how to take away all those kind of legacy reporting here and there and make like large scale data reports from a whole organization's level, so that everyone potentially get benefit out of data. So that was like, again, one of the challenges they addressed, that how you can actually make your whole organizations so that they can embrace AI. They shows a lot of interest to get more in that. So when they see some sort of benefits and they see so the value data can bring, then they can easily onboard them with the algorithms, with the models, and with the all other blocks that you need to deliver to make AI, awareness. So that's the three thing that from us is very important to strategically understand for your organizations, for example, to build AI functions or analytics functions, that what kind of competence area you need, what kind of capability area you want to build, and how you can actually measure the value of your AI investment. Now, what kind of model, like when you say value chain, we have like digital retail, we have supply chain, we have design, buying, and production, and then we have sales and store operations. So if those are our value chain, then we want to put AI in every blocks, right? In AI functions. So as you said, that if figuring out a different kind of profiling area, customer profiling, product profiling, store profiling, and based on this profiling, you make sophisticated data science and AI module. You add A/B testing as a generic functionality of your platform, so that you don't need to struggle to do this kind of testing for every small piece of testing. And then you build your in-house BI functionalities rather than buying it here and there and unnecessarily sharing the data, which may not bring that much value. So eventually you need to have your own data lake where you can actually put all type of data, like we said, customer data, product data, and try to curate it in a way that that the data is actually shareable within whole organizations, governance, and put in the right place. In Europe, we have to take care of GDPR, so that that at the end of the day, whatever analytics we can actually do, that can be benefited from customer point of view, from business point of view, as well as from a societal point of view. So centrally handling all data is a good thing from that aspect, and that makes things also very easy, as well as very clean. So before we go more detailed, like in a technological talk, what is actually beliefs? So why you want to build technology, for example, analytics or AI? What kind of beliefs that you have in front of you? Because AI is something, is actually today's problem, or it's not tomorrow's problem. It's a problem that you want to see from a change perspective, that that you're changing something, and during this change process, something will remain with you and something will go away from you. Now, the point over here is that some of the things guessed might be going to be true and some might not be true. So from our customer point of view, we think that the core belief around it, that when you think about everything going to be digital, of course it could be, but not within next decade, right? So you have to have put a lot of importance on your physical marketplaces as well. And then customer behavior point of view, customers stop buying our things physically. It's not, even though COVID trained people to do purchase online quite heavily, but still when this fear will go away, as well as the situation will be much better, then we think that the traffic, this store will be almost normal as it was before. So when we talk about analytics, we do very simple steps. So get the data, right? Explore it, understand it, works, see what works, what doesn't work. The things that works, put AI in it, do prediction, make model, put it in a data pipe, share the insight when the insight is needed. Otherwise, productionize it and you see it as a product or service. So that's from a simple scenario. If you see like customer analytics, customer segmentation, customer profiling, like lifetime value of a customer, CX and performance, like marketing operations. You do tremendous marketing here and there in paid media, in TV channel, all those kind of places, right? How you understand that your budget is right, your ROI is okay, you're investing in the right channel at the right time. So a lot of things, right? So when you have this unified process, you have the data in the data lake, and you have these common practices to build analytics, to build AI, you can actually easily serve these kind of use cases. Here you see this segmentation, which looks like a bit scientific, but it's really not that complex. It's just a simple marketing mix kind of techniques or rule sets that you set to get to know. But it can be complex, right? When you say that you have 7 million customers and they are doing a lot of transactions and you want to rescore it on a daily basis. So you are dealing with a big data problem with the volume of data and all those interesting wizard multi-source. And these kind of things, when you have access to data lake, you have access to use computations, memory, you can actually solve it very quickly and rapidly. The performance dashboard, marketing performance, when you know that, okay, fine, what kind of problem your marketers, your content creators, your loyalty experts are actually dealing on a day-to-day basis. If you have all sort of data in a unified manner, you can actually make extremely powerful analytical tool for them, which you can actually can of course buy it from Salesforce or something like that, but that's going to be very expensive, so to speak. So that's kind of simple, but very business-driven use cases I was talking. But on a complex scenario, you can also make something like personalization engine, where you can actually bet 30% uplift of your regular sales. So here we try to build our own personalization engine within Varner. We use McKinsey's this favorite recipe data activation framework. We try to follow that. We build a cross-functioning team. We get help from all the units that need to be. We make some sort of squad and work together almost 6-8 weeks and build a first version of the product. Now this slide where he says that a simple strategy, and it's really simple, because if you don't design your AI product in a simple way, it could actually easily go in a very diverse directions, which will not give you at the end of the day any value. It can be end of like a typical failing engineering projects where you have one sort of requirement and at the end of the day you have get something else. So you need to make things very understandable, manageable, as well as goal oriented. So that was like how our technical architecture of personalization engine. We used marketing automation tool Agilic to push the recommendations. But the things that we want to deliver with this slide is the importance of end-to-end. Because if you don't consider the end-to-end part from day one, then you might have a very good model, but it's not producing any value because the delivery mechanism is not capable of using it. Or you have end-to-end, but you don't onboarded the marketing people so that they can understand your tool and can give you feedback, or also get the confidence of using it. So that's why this sort of high-level architecture is very important, so that you can actually explain who will do what and why is important, as well as sort out the complexity in a very early stage, so that you can actually launch a successful and working product. So now we are running it as a pilot and seeing what kind of revenue it actually brings or what kind of value it's going to be bring for us. So to build it, we are actually using a lot of algorithms. So we call it like a lot, because for style ranking, we use one algorithm. For product selection, we use another algorithm. For color recommendation, we use another algorithm. For size selection, we use another algorithm. And at the end of the day, all these algorithms combine together and gives the recommendations that we would like to offer to our valued customer. Then definitely, you know, you need to define the basis, which basis you are recommending, so that also the customers have trust from your recommendations. Let's say that this I'm recommending based on trend, this I'm recommending you based on what kind of color you like, and I think this color you will love. This I based on your price selection, that this kind of price will give you actually lots of value, because that's what you really like to buy. So in this way, you also need to think from a customer perspective, and here you also need human intelligence. So if you think that only machine intelligence is good enough to build all this kind of algorithms, is not good, because you also need to put a lot of attention to understand how to glue together human intelligence with machine, and then you can actually get a perfect AI product. So just wanted to put a few reflections on COVID. Of course, from a retailer perspective, COVID brings a lot of opportunity, those who on cloud for digital retail, but at the same time, it brings a lot of difficulties for the ones who operate on only physically. However, if you think the things in a differently, that even though COVID may affect you badly, but if you have a good digital presence, if your or customers already know you, if you have a big customer base, if you have a high-tech supply chain, if you have trusted suppliers, as well as you have a platform to do analytics, to do AI, and passion-driven employee, then you might not in that bad situations, right? And you could actually get a lot of advantage in analytics and AI world. What you need to set your visions for the digital. You need to set the goal, and that's might be needed. All the companies, all the retailers, those who affected by the COVID, but thinking that what they could do, they should actually just need to set ambitious goals from a digital touch point of view. So today I reflect on mostly on customer aspects of analytics, as well as AI, but strategically I discuss everything.
JUWEL, hi, sorry. Can you hear me? I'm sorry to cut you off. We did just go over a bit here. So I just have to end it. Just because.
Oh yeah, this is the end slide. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the end slide.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. And I didn't get your last thing, the sound, the last minute one. It says you want give one before 5 minutes and one before 1 minute.
Mm-hmm. I did a couple.
I mean, that's the instruction I got on the email, but it's okay.
Okay. Here, I'll end it, and thank you very much.